Roughing the passer. On paper, it sounds pretty straightforward. It's a 15-yard penalty that gets called when a defensive player hits the quarterback after they've thrown the ball. That's it. That's the rule. But in reality, it's so much more complicated and a whole lot more frustrating. The official language in the rulebook says defenders can't make forcible contact with a passer after the ball is thrown. But what does that even mean in today's NFL? Because over the years, the league has added layer after layer of restrictions. Now it's not just about hitting the quarterback late. If you hit him too high, that's a flag. If you go too low, near the knees or ankles, that's a flag. If you land on him with your full body weight, even if you're in the middle of a sack, that's a flag. And all of this can happen in a split second. The league says the goal is simple: protect quarterbacks, especially the stars. Because let's be real, guys like Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, and Joe Burrow are the faces of their franchises. If they get hurt, the league suffers. TV ratings go down, ticket sales drop, and fan interest fades. So protecting the quarterback has become priority number one. But there's a problem. Actually, scratch that. There are a lot of problems. Why fans can't stand this rule? Let's be honest, roughing the passer might be the most hated rule in football right now. Ask any fan, any analyst, any former player. It drives everyone insane. And here's why. Number one, inconsistency. What's a penalty 1 week might be considered totally clean the next. There's no standard, no clarity, no baseline for what's legal and what's not. And it feels like certain quarterbacks, the big names, get more protection than the rest. Mahomes takes a hit, flag. Burrow gets leveled the same way. Play on. Fans see this. They notice. And it feels like there are two sets of rules depending on who's under center. Number two, the game-changing impact. We're not talking about a 5-yard penalty. This is 15 yards and an automatic first down. Imagine it's 3rd and long. Your defense makes a huge stop, sack, fumble, crowd going crazy. And then the ref throws a flag. Roughing the passer. Drive stays alive. One call like that can flip a playoff game on its head. It changes the outcome. It hands momentum to the offense and punishes defenses for doing their job. And number three, defenders are set up to fail. Football is fast. The game moves at lightning speed. When a quarterback drops back, defenders have maybe a second or two to get through the line, find the angle, and make a hit. But now they're expected to calculate the timing of the throw, adjust their strike zone, avoid helmet-to-helmet contact, and not fall on the quarterback, all while mid-air. Come on, that's not football. That's asking 270-pound linemen to think like ballerinas in full sprint. The moments that broke the internet. This rule doesn't just annoy fans, it erupts online. There have been multiple moments in the past few seasons that straight up broke the internet. Let's talk about the one that made everyone stop and go, what are we even doing? Falcons versus Buccaneers, 2022. Tom Brady drops back. Grady Jarrett beats the block and absolutely nails Brady with a clean wrap-up sack. No helmet contact, no low hit, just perfect form. Flag, roughing the passer. The internet exploded. Twitter melted down. Every analyst on every network called it soft. Even Tom Brady looked confused. That one call wiped out a crucial stop and gave the Bucs a first down. Another example, Chiefs versus Raiders. Same season. Chris Jones comes off the edge, strip sacks Derek Carr, recovers the fumble mid-tackle, and still gets flagged. He had the football in his hand and still got hit with a roughing call. And then there's the most heartbreaking one of all. In one game, a defender literally tore his ACL trying to adjust mid-air and avoid landing on a quarterback. His season ended, not because of a hit, but because he tried to obey the rule. That's how far it's gone. Why the NFL won't change it. So here's the big question. If everyone hates this rule, fans, players, coaches, even quarterbacks, why won't the NFL just fix it? The answer is simple. Quarterbacks are everything. They're the stars of the league. They're who fans pay to see. They drive jersey sales, fantasy football, highlight reels, primetime matchups, and Super Bowl hopes. When a star quarterback goes down, it changes the whole dynamic of the season. Just look at what happened when Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles 4 plays into the Jets' season. All the hype, gone. TV ratings dropped. National games, suddenly less exciting. The NFL knows that protecting these players is good for business. And with the league's history of concussions, lawsuits, and CTE-related concerns, they've gone all in on safety. Overprotecting the QB is a calculated business move. To the league, it's better to take the heat for being too soft than to lose another MVP to a brutal hit. What players and coaches really think. If you could get defensive players to speak unfiltered, every single one would tell you the same thing. This rule is making it impossible to play defense. These guys work their whole lives to play this game. They study tape. They perfect their technique. They hit the weight room. They eat clean. They train for speed, agility, and power. And then they're expected to guess how the ref is feeling that day. A clean sack might get you a flag just because it looked too aggressive. Even quarterbacks are starting to speak out. Most of them are thankful for the protection. No one wants to get leveled in the pocket, but even they admit some of these calls are just flat out bad. As for coaches, you can see it in their faces. They go nuclear on the sidelines, slam headsets, throw their arms up. They won't say much in post-game interviews because the league hands out fines like Halloween candy, but behind the scenes, they're livid. Will this rule ever actually change? Now here's the kicker. The NFL has talked about reviewing roughing the passer calls. They've proposed allowing replay reviews so that obvious mistakes could be corrected. The idea was even voted on. But guess what? The owners shut it down multiple times. They say it would slow down the game, create more confusion, lead to even more controversy. So instead, they've just left it alone. Every season, they tweak the wording a little bit. They remind refs to use discretion, but nothing changes. The flags keep flying, the chaos continues, and until something major happens, a playoff game completely derailed, or a massive injury caused because of this rule, don't expect the league to budge.